Above the throne, a blinding radiance appeared. Don't write it! Why? The silence of the night forest was pierced by a man's scream. Waking in a cold sweat, the man breathed heavily. His heart pounded in his chest like a hammer on an anvil. He sat up and squeezed his eyes shut, trying to hold on to the fading images of the dream. Outside, the faint crackle of firewood in the campfire was heard. That simple sound pulled him back to reality. He slowly rose, pulled on his cloak, and stepped out of the tent. The cold night air burned his chest and helped him calm down. By the campfire sat a girl in a cloak. She held a mug of hot drink in her hands, steam rising to her face, lit by the soft glow of the flames. She looked thoughtful. Hi there. I'm always late. Just like in a dream. Running. But your legs are stuck in some kind of mire. Each step heavier, until you can't move at all. In nightmares, we are left unharmed, and the enemies become the mind itself. Another nightmare? Will you tell me what you dreamed? It's nothing. Just a bad dream. The girl was silent for a moment, then spoke more softly. You're not the type to share your feelings, are you? We've been traveling together for days, and I know almost nothing about you. They say even the silent ones open up around a campfire. True. The man sat, poking the firewood slowly with a stick, watching the sparks rise into the darkness. The dry crackle of the logs broke the silence, as if inviting confession. And what if the truth isn't pretty, and in some places not very good? The girl's expression didn't change, but a warm spark lit her eyes. She was clearly pleased with how the conversation was unfolding. Then, it's all the more reason to speak out and not keep it all inside. And besides, you promised me something. Another pause fell. In the background came the monotonous chirping of crickets. The fire crackled softly. The man stared into the flames, as if sinking into memories. All right. Do you want to hear the story of how I ended up in your wonderful world, or the reason for my nightmares? The girl gave a barely noticeable nod. Only, my story isn't about some fairy tale hero. It's about a man who's been through a lot, made many choices, and didn't always do the right thing. Becoming the one you see before you know. I understand that, and I want to hear your story. In all the days we've known each other, we haven't had many chances to just sit by the fire with a hot drink in hand. The moon has only just risen in the sky, and dawn is still far away. Will you do me the honor, hero? The man smiled, for the first time that evening. Well then, listen. Earth, our time. Oh, what? The room was filled with the clicks of gamepads and laughter. Another battle flared on the TV screen. A father and son were deeply engrossed in their console game on an ordinary Friday evening. Outside, an ordinary, unremarkable city of a little over 1 million people had long since fallen asleep. But they didn't notice. It was just the two of them, having fun together. Ha! 5th win in a row! So, will you finally admit I play better? Ha ha! The boy cheered sincerely at yet another victory. He had quickly mastered the fighting game. Ugh, not fair! You're just taking advantage of me being older. My reflexes are slower now. I can't get the combos in time. Yeah, Dad, but that's no excuse. You've got way more gaming experience. His son's words stirred a warm wave of nostalgia in the man. When I was a kid, we jumped off garages, stole apples from the neighbor. Now what? My son beats up his dad on the screen? That's progress for you? The boy burst out laughing. You grumble like an old man. The man suddenly yanked the boy's hoodie over his head, blocking his view. The son burst out laughing, trying to free himself. But it was already too late. The father, remembering all his skills, started mashing the buttons furiously and... I won! Well, I don't know if I'm the dad or the son! Look, now victory is mine. As the man triumphantly pointed at the screen, a storm of thoughts raced through the boy's mind. Dad, that's so unfair! The father smiled, raised a finger, and spoke. Maybe it's not exactly fair, but a win is still a win. Remember this, son. Victory doesn't always come the honest way, and everyone has their own truth. The boy didn't grasp the depth of the thought, but he remembered it. Fine, just this once, I'll give you this victory, Dad. Besides, I've still got more wins overall. So you just took pity on the old man, huh? By the way, got an idea. Tomorrow, we could go to the mall, grab some treats, mess around, play some arcade games, and check out what's new in the movies. Also, let's look for our matching hoodies. I really liked your gift. Very original. Cool. I'm glad you liked it. Now we match, both with cute ears. Can we have pizza tomorrow too? Please? Well, we'll decide that in the morning. For now, how about some ice cream and then a walk? Sitting in front of the screen for too long isn't good. You'll understand when you're older. Ice cream! Yeah! Oh, shit. He's grown depressed! Oh, wait, no, that's just a dad! The boy skipped off towards the kitchen. As the man was shutting off the game, the phone rang. Oh. Oh no, Mother, what is it? Hello? Hey, Mom. How are you? Hi, son. I'm doing well. I just called to see how you two are doing. Did you have dinner? Yeah, he talked me into pizza, and now he's run up to raise the freezer for ice cream. He liked the pizza so much he's already asking for it again tomorrow. Son, you're on your own now and responsible for a child. Be careful with fast food. It's better if you cook more often for yourself. I know, Mom. I'm slowly learning how to cook. It's just today I didn't have much time. Got back late from work. A quiet sigh came through the receiver. Though her son has grown, a mother's heart always worries for her child, no matter how old he is. He's so much like you as a child. I remember cooking for you, giving your friends fruit and sweets. You'd all gather at our place and play on one computer. The man recalled how he and his friends played until the first death, and how he tried his hardest to survive as long as possible so his turn wouldn't pass on. That's right. We did. Then we pool our lunch money to go to the computer club. Those were simpler times. And now, it's all different. Everyone's got their own PC. We talk over the internet and there's work, personal life. We rarely meet friends in person. His mother listened attentively, then remembered something. By the way, son, even though you've grown, I'd like to talk to you about the boy and about your role as a father. Dad? Hold on, Mom. I gotta help him with the ice cream. I guess I'm the dad. Dad, help! The hell? Wait, what happened? Hello? Son, can you hear me? Hello? Oh shit! Wait! What the hell is this? What's going on here? A strange magical vortex appeared in the middle of the kitchen, like a portal, spitting out lightning and powerful gusts of wind. A hooded man stood before the vortex, holding the boy. His face was hidden in shadow, but his gaze pierced through, as if he could see through every thought. He didn't hurry, moving with confidence, and his presence seemed to fill the room with a tense, almost tangible danger. "Let him go right now! Do you hear me? Dad, what's happening?" "Don't be scared. I'm with you. It's going to be all right." The hooded man slowly, step by step, began to back towards the vortex. At that moment, the father's eyes caught on a golden ring with a crimson stone glinting on his hand. The portal roared, swirling into a furious vortex. The air knocked things off their feet and hurled small objects around the room. The stranger retreated fully into the portal with the boy. The vortex's edges trembled and slowly closed, like a door about to slam shut. "Stop! My boy!" "Well, I guess this is how I end up in another world!" Huh. Neat. "Hello?" Without a moment's hesitation, the father lunged towards and barely managed to touch the portal with his fingertip. A single thought blazed in his mind. Please, let the portal be two-way, like in Heroes. "Oh. Do I need to cover that butt crack?" The tall throne room was flooded with sunlight, pouring through the vast arched windows. Heavy tapestries hung on the walls, bearing crest, a black raven on a blue field, and a golden rising sun on red. Courtiers and local nobility crowded both levels of the hall, men and women of varying ages, all serious and weary. All eyes were fixed on the throne. From the outside, it looked like some sort of ceremony. At the center stood the throne. It lounged a massive, brooding man, seated more lazily than regally. It seemed as though he cared less about the ceremony itself and more about what would follow. Next to him stands a woman in a luxurious burgundy dress. Her figure is full and curvy, perhaps even a bit too voluptuous in places, yet she stood calm and confident, watching the proceedings with a faint trace of a smile. A little behind, like a shadow, is a man in armor, stern, silent, with a face that leaves no room for doubt. His eyes sweep across the hall, noting every movement. On the carpet before the throne stood a woman in a crimson gown with a daring cut along the back. Very daring. What? Ma'am! Ma'am! You're crack! In her hands were gifts, glittering jewels. Her appearance set her apart from the rest. "Your Majesty, I am Margarita Rihanna Bra Alfort. On behalf of the free city of Bra, I extend my deepest respect and congratulate you on the anniversary of your coronation. May your reign be as long as the stars in the sky and as glorious as the blazing sun." The woman spoke aloud and confidently. Her voice rang out across the hall, stirring even the long-bored listeners weary of ceremony traditions. The king, who had been listening lazily, suddenly raised a brow. He understood which son she spoke of and appreciated the hint. "As a sign of respect and friendship, we present these gifts to you, crafted by the finest jewelers of the free city." Thank you for such generous gifts. Do not hurry to leave the palace. I insist you remain for the entire celebration. Everyone present is my honored guest. And more than that, today I celebrate not just my coronation, but a jubilee! Thus, I await guests from all corners of our beautiful continent, Valerian. Elven envoys have already promised to attend, and if the stars are kind, even the dwarves may grace us with their visit. The servants are already preparing a feast to begin in just a few days. Holy shit. At that moment, the air in the throne room began to rumble, and a strange hum rose as if the fabric of reality itself was tearing apart. Above the throne, a blinding radiance appeared. Don't right at her! Why? The light suddenly vanished. In the same instant, a man in strange clothing crashed down upon the envoy and right into her. Oh, God. She screamed, throwing her arms out in fright. Jewels scattered with a ringing clatter across the marble floor of the throne room. A startled gasp rippled through the crowd. Of course. I landed on something soft, warm, and sharp? From the sting, you jerked your head up and struggled to make sense of it all. Everything feels like a dream, but why does it hurt? Did I end up in another world? Guards! Restrain him at once! Tend to the lady instead. It seems she has fainted because of this scoundrel. Once the guards had taken the lady away, you stood in the middle of the hall, spreading your arms and demanding answers about your son. Your eyes darted feverishly from one person to another. Has anyone seen a boy? He's 10 years old, dressed almost the same as me. But there was only silence in response. People surrounded you, looking with suspicion and disapproval. Your bold tone had clearly offended them. And their clothes. Strange. No. Simply a millennium behind your own time. The king looked over those present, his face calm, as though he had seen such things before. Ugh. Who is this fool? Where did he come from? How did he end up here? None of my servants look like that. I should be the one asking you. Who are you? And what circus are you putting on here? The situation has started to frustrate you. You had managed to jump into the portal, so in theory, your son and the abductor should be nearby. Yet, the people looked as if they truly knew nothing, and the surroundings were far too vivid, as if part of a play or a game. Where the hell am I? Say bluntly, be snarky, stay silent. I'll say bluntly. What the hell? Put on your cheap performances somewhere else. That's not what I meant! That's not what I meant! No! I'm gonna go back! Stay silent! The king's gaze grew darker, his anger intensifying. Enough! You appear in my palace, in my throne room, falling from who knows where, and you dare to hurl insults before me! The king! A king? Foreigner, mind your language. You stand before the king of Xanthria, the greatest human kingdom on the continent. An armored man strode swiftly towards you, fixing you with a stern gaze as he partially unsheathed his sword. The sword looked unusual. Its dark blade shimmered with blue streaks, like patterns of starlight. Your nerves finally snapped at the absurdity of it all, and you burst out laughing. That's enough! I've wasted enough time on you. I need to find my son. If you don't know where he is, then I'll find him myself. And this king plays poorly. I'm not buying it. Blah! What's up with the blah? You barely had time to grasp what was happening before you felt yourself slipping into unconsciousness. Throw this wretch into the dungeon. At dawn, execute him! Ah. Well, clearly I survived. You awoke in a room resembling a standard prison cell. Straining your memory, you recalled similar cells from games or manga. The place was barren, a bed of rotting straw, a chamber pot in the corner, and little else worth describing. This is outrageous! I won't let this slide. I'll sue you all! Damn, the pain felt real, and the spot where I was hit still aches. That guy in armor, he was so fast. I didn't even have time to react. You glance around at the stone walls. I need to think. only my head didn't hurt so much. This definitely isn't a dream, considering the pain, but what then? Some kind of staged scene? Doesn't seem like it. The scenery is too real. I can smell the damp rot of straw and mildew. Huh. Maybe a TV show like The Truman Show? Maybe it's some kind of simulation. Everything looks so fantastical, like a medieval fantasy. It's hard for me to take this seriously. Feels like I'm the chosen one, and any moment now, an emperor will walk in, tell me there's a secret tunnel in this cell, and hand me his amulet. Screw it. What matters is this. The portal was one way. My son isn't here with me. That leaves two options. Either my son is in this world, just teleported somewhere else, or we're in an entirely different world. Where am I? A wave of despair crashed over you. Ah! Oh, Brad! Hey, you! In weird clothes! Shut your trap! Honest folks are trying to sleep. A man from the cell opposite barked gruffly and tossed a chunk of stale bread in your direction. Right, the locals. I could just ask them. Hey, come on. Who are you? And where are we? What? You one of those idiots too? Shut your mouth and say nothing. But what's your problem? I just wanted to talk. Oh, sick! Free bread! From the cells came grumbling and mocking laughter. Chunks of stale bread were hurled in your direction, clattering against the bars like stone. Damn you all. Ugh. You slumped back down onto what was already becoming your familiar spot. Brilliant, Dad. You ended up who knows where, blurted out too much in the heat of the moment, and now you're in jail, and with an execution hanging over you. There's no way you'll find your son. What the hell is that? Then your eyes caught something glinting on the floor. It looked like a shard or perhaps a metal plate. I have an idea. Let's try this. Oh, ain't no way. I don't think that's gonna work. You picked up the shard and tried to foul at the bars of the window, but the metal only screeched faintly, leaving a thin scratch. Of course. The bars are too strong. Fantasy world or not, the laws of physics here seem a lot like ours. Still, the shard is strong and jagged. I'll keep it. Might come in handy later. What if something happened to my son? What if they... No, don't even think of that. If they kidnapped him, they must have a reason. He must be important to them somehow. I'll find you. I promise. Well, there goes that plan. I just fell asleep. Some time passed. The cold light of the moon filtered through the bars, competing with the dim flame of the torch for dominance in the cell. You dozed on your now familiar bed of rotten straw, when suddenly, through the silence, a woman's voice reached you. Low, with a slight husk, it wrapped around your mind, sounding both tender and commanding. It carried authority. Pull out the stone. As if in a dream, you rose and staggered towards the wall. One stone in the masonry stood out. It seemed to be hiding something. Why didn't I notice this before? With the thought, you pressed your fingers into the cold stone and, with effort, pulled it from the wall. Hello? Before you gaped a dark hole, stretching into the unknown. Into the darkness. Hi. Oh my god, no! Well, hello, sleepyhead. Ah! You scream and begin to snap back to your senses. The hell is happening? That was a naked girl! With horns! Chained to a wall! Wait, is she another prisoner? Her alluring voice still rang in your ears against the quiet of the night. You decided to make sure you really saw her and moved closer again to the hole in the wall. No way.
Great. A prison glory hole.
Hey, where are you?
Oh. Hi!
Boo. You screamed again and now woke fully. You were as shocked as if you'd never seen a horned woman in your life. God damn it, what the hell? You were chained up, weren't you? I've had enough adventures for today without you. You've already fallen on your ass twice. Am I really that scary? Or are you just afraid of women? The strange-looking girl theatrically pouted her lips and froze, waiting for your reply. Now, you could study her face in detail. She looked both mesmerizingly beautiful and frightening, her skin shimmering with a soft reddish, almost violet hue. One eye was hidden by a lock of hair, while the other glowed with an unnatural pink-violet light. Her gaze was deep, hiding something ancient and dark, and she clearly knew the effect it had on you. Who are you? What a silly question. You should already know. I am a cosplayer? A demoness? Judging by the horns, you're...
Horms? Horms! Yes, the Horms! You are a demoness.
Okay. Bit aside, you're a demoness. The girl smiled. You could say that. One of your kind once called me that. What are you talking about? You came from another world. Here, such people are called summoned heroes. I wonder how much she really knows and how strong she is. I'll try to get more out of her. A hero? What nonsense. And what next? Will they hand me a shield, a wagon, a divine bird, and send me off to perform 12 labors? The demoness studies you carefully, her eyes lingering on your clothes. You're from Earth, aren't you? How did she figure that out so quickly? Bingo. Wonderful. In your world, there are so many fascinating pictures and books. What do you call them? Yes. Manga? Anime? I'd love to see them someday. There are so many gods on Earth. She tries to recall all the ones she's heard of. Zeus, Odin, Loki, Kratos, hundreds more. How do you even get along with all of them? And Earthlings love to depict us as sexy and seductive. Well, funny you mentioned that. But that's so shallow. As if we have no souls and can only corrupt, tempt, and drain life away. At that, you couldn't hold back anymore. Do you even have a soul? You're a demon. The demoness's lips twisted slightly. You really are a joker, hero. You know, I feel like I'm in one of those books. First a colorful fairy tale, and now I'm in a dungeon, talking through a wall to a naked temptress. This is an obvious trap. I may be shocked by everything, but I won't fall for that. The whole situation feels like a cliché from a cheap novel. I'm supposed to lose my head, forget everything, and give in to temptation. And the reader of such a novel would expect me to drop my pants, pull out my dick, push it into an open... I mean... If, like, they're going to offer, yes! Oh! I'm gonna... Mouth? She playfully stuck out her tongue, slowly ran it over her lips, and opened her mouth, her hot breath fogging the cold cell air into a steamy mist. The sight was so explicit and enticing that you were left speechless. The demoness burst into laughter. Oh, thank God. You should have seen your face. Already fantasizing, aren't you? Oh, screw you! Oh, but...
The girl stood up and began smacking her own ass, running her hand along her thighs.
Fine. Enough sitting around. My whole ass went numb listening to you. You sure you're not a virgin? They love to chatter. And this dust? Look at how much of it is stuck to my butt. You see that, right?
Well, I can. You can't. And what exactly are you doing?
Stretching? What else? Sitting too long is bad for you. In your world, I think you call it.
Oh.
Exercise.
I see. I see.
I see way too much. You saw her round, firm ass, swaying gently with her breathing. Her hips moved smoothly, and her supple tail writhed. She was clearly teasing you. She pressed her ass against the hole in the wall, arching slightly and shamelessly showing you her openings. Overcome with arousal, you couldn't think straight. She had won. The demoness fell silent for a moment, studying you intently, then curved her lips into a sly smile and pressed even harder against the hole. So you could admire all her charms up close and in all their glory.
Oh no. There's so much I have to censor.
Demoness, I already told you, don't try to seduce me.
By the way, your tricks are straight out of those anime and isekai manga demons.
And what of it? Don't you enjoy it? You're a man, or are you trying to convince me otherwise?
I am man, yes, but sometimes it's better to think with your head, not your head down there. Remember that.
Or maybe you want to touch. Come on, don't be so boring. You turned away, trying to focus. Unbelievable.
I need to find my son, and they're about to execute me. And here I am, stuck in a damn porno. Thanks, life! You never stop surprising me.
I know you didn't end up here by accident, and you have a simple goal. Just say it. What do you want from me? You hear a faint rustling behind the wall, and the sound of movement.
Oh my god! Ma'am, could you please put on some clothes? The demoness slowly lowered herself onto the straw bed, arching her body to put every curve on display.
I'm the person who can open the path to your freedom, or your downfall. It all depends on how you ask. She's manipulative. I need to calm down, not let emotions take over. The demoness smiled, as if she had just read your thoughts. Staying calm won't help, Earthling. I know who you're looking for. The boy, rather cute, wearing a hoodie like yours, with the same frightened eyes. Inside the demoness's cell, a crimson glow began to rise. In her hands formed a shimmering orb the size of a fist. It pulses as if alive, with a faint whisper echoing from within. Inside the orb appears the face of a boy, pale, frightened. He sits in the dark, clutching his head and trembling in fear.
Son!
You see, I can help. But for that, you'll have to be a good boy. A very good boy. She slowly licked her finger and traced it along the surface of the orb.
No! Don't lick my child! No!
At that moment, her eyes flared with a playful yet dangerous fire.
If you so much as lay a finger on him...
Oh no, I only touch grown men, especially the stubborn ones. After the boy's illusion faded, you stood frozen in silence. Your lips trembled, your breathing heavy. The sphere shrank, then flared and vanished.
The cell sank back into gloom. Your lips trembled. Your breath grew heavy. You had to decide what to do. I'll ask about my son. Enough games! Tell me what that was! Where is my son? Answer me! Who the hell are you? Why do you know him? What do you want? On the other side comes a velvety chuckle, scraping across your frayed nerves like a claw on glass. You don't know how to listen. Not very heroic of you. I don't care! Tell me everything you know! Right now! The answer was silence. Then came a sigh. Long, weary, like that of a woman who had lived for centuries and grown tired of the same foolish questions. You're not ready yet. First, figure out where you've ended up. Understand what this place is and the laws that govern it. Otherwise, you'll simply vanish. Just like so many before you. I won't die until I find my son. And I'll get to you too. The demoness laughed, her laughter slowly fading, dissolving into the darkness of the cell. Then, her voice echoed from somewhere far away. Those are the ones I like. Keep that spirit, and maybe you'll actually have a chance to survive. A moment later, the world around you seemed to stir. You heard the faint mumbling of prisoners, the shuffling of guards in the distance, and the familiar stench of rotten straw filled the air. Someone approached the cell and unlocked it. You saw it was the armored man you'd seen in the throne room. Someone approached the cell and unlocked it. You saw it was the armored man you'd seen in the throne room. Boy, who are you talking to in there? Lost your wits already? That was the demoness in the next cell. I swear I saw her. What is this? A prison for fantastic beasts? Hey, Boric! Did the sun just rise in here? Oh wait, that's your shiny bald head. Taking the rookie out? What about us? Voices of other inmates rose around you. The armored man, apparently named Boric, led you out of the cell and pointed to the neighboring ones where you thought the demon was. The cell's been empty since last month. There are no demons in this prison, just people. They can be more dangerous than any monster. Ah, Boric, old pal! We missed your ugly mug! Let him and go to the queen. Lucky bastard. Her tits are the stuff of dreams. Yeah, take the princess. She's so sweet and gentle. Take me too, Boric. I'll be good. Ah, don't be excited, boy. Inside the same cage, just bigger. All of you, shut it! If a single day in the dungeon did this to you, I dread to think what comes next. Be that as it may, by Her Majesty's order, you're free. What? Don't ask. I don't like it either. Orders are orders. He headed for the exit and, pausing, glanced back over his shoulder. You coming? Or did you decide to stay here with your imaginary girlfriend? You linger your gaze on the cell when you'd just seen the demoness. Can she teleport, or am I really losing my mind? The wide palace corridors in the night silence seem cold and lifeless. The torches on the walls barely scattered the shadows. The echo of the armored man's heavy steps resounds under the stone arches. The man walks ahead, confidently without looking back, fully aware you won't do anything to him. You trudge behind, still feeling dizzy and weak. Ah, why? Suddenly he turns around and gives you a loud slap on the back of the head. Ow! Do you even realize what you've done, you brainless fool? You insulted the king. You humiliated a noble lady. You ruined the ceremony. You fell from the sky and straight into shit head first. But the saying goes, fall into shit and don't croak. Clearly not about you, right? Actually, I fell on a woman, not into shit. And the saying really doesn't go like that. By the way, who are you? Some kind of commander? Talking back, pup. I cut your head clean off. At the Queen's orders. Remember my name. I am Boric of House Harnell, a house that for generations has protected the Sandrian kings. And also the captain of the palace guards, responsible for the safety of His Majesty and the entire royal family. Come, I'll take you to your chambers.
Wait, chambers? Wait, what?
At ease, soldier. Yes, Captain.
Wait, I have a place to stay? Ain't no way, this is a trap!
Well, it's not, but clearly. This is your room. At least until the next scandal. You look around. The room is fairly spacious. A massive bed, a wardrobe, an empty bookshelf, and lots of empty space. The atmosphere resembles a cheap motel room, only with bars in the window. Do all criminals here get such apartments? You're the hero, according to the Queen. She convinced His Majesty that you were in shock. Your world is too different from ours. Different manners, different clothes. That's why you look like a jester and were rude without ill intent. That's why she asked to have you released. Very persuasively. I have a feeling the Queen is one of the people I will get to mount later. I see. So now I'm kind of an official guest? The king has given you a few days to recover after the summoning. When I decide you are ready, I'll grant permission for a duel with his warrior.
A duel? I just got here!
Only then you will prove that you truly are the hero. Or you'll die. I have a lot of respect for Boric. For now, you're free. In the morning, afternoon, and evening, you may walk around the palace and garden, but stay away from the royal family and the nobility. Don't go looking for trouble. At night, you're locked in. Leaving is forbidden. And also, you can wash in a bathhouse or a basin. And if you need to wash your clothes, ask the maids. Change out of that clownish outfit. He wanted to say something back to him. But he had already left, slamming the door shut. Well, with this level of service, it's no wonder heroes die in droves, if the demoness is to be believed. Let's see what these apartments have to offer. Training on clickable objects in the room. In some places, you'll have to click on various objects yourself for minigames, item searches, hiding, and other possible gameplay moments. Hovering the mouse over a certain object, you'll instantly know whether you can click it or not. It'll have a specific outline. Try clicking on the wardrobe. Oh, sick! Huh. Locked with a padlock. So, what's the point of it then? It's quite simple. Moving the mouse across the screen in different locations, you'll be able to click both on regular clickable objects and hidden ones, if you spot them. And now, try clicking on all the clickable objects in the room. Ooh! Window. Only a wall and a small path are visible. No beautiful views. You touch the window grate. And this grate is much thinner than in prison. The stones are all cracked. Maybe the plate will come in handy here. I just don't have the strength for it now. I'll try later. I mean, I don't really need to, escape now, do I? Seems like, oh, there's a little hole here. It's a bookshelf. The bookshelf is empty. I wonder, will I be able to read their books if I understand their language? But what if I can't read? What if reading's not a thing I can do? The bed is quite big, though a bit stiff. The sheets are clean and smell nice. Clearly changed recently. Examine your immediate surroundings. I wonder, do they even feed you here? Haven't eaten in ages, except those crusts as hard as stone. I had so much bread! Good evening, sir. The hero requires dinner and preferably without poison. You're quite the joker, hero. Wait a moment. Oh, okay. Here's something I never managed to talk about on the channel. All right, so in a lot of these fantasy erogames, the gods are just so cute. The gods are just like the best characters in the game, and like, God, I don't know if enough people actually talk about the gods in erogames. They're just so fun, like, as characters. God, what's so funny? Was that really a joke? Will I get dinner? I'm so depressed. Shit. You sat on the edge of the bed. Your gaze drifts across the floor, then the walls, ceiling, and the fire from the torch. Fatigue and pain wash over you in waves. It was an ordinary Friday. Then my son's abduction, a portal, another world, prison, a demoness, constant risk of execution. Compared to this day, my entire life was boring. Honestly, my nerves are at their limit. I can't panic. I need to keep a cool head. I'll rest today, and tomorrow, I'll see how the day goes. Nothing is clear about my son yet. If I imagine all this as a game, it's far from my first. I have experience. Maybe it'll be useful. Only now, the stakes aren't some achievements, but my life. And his life. Who? Your thoughts were interrupted by a knock on the door. Well then, come in. Hope it's not Boric. But Boric is based. La Boric. I feel like this is probably an NPC. It's not another love interest, is it? Probably an NPC. Maybe. No. The door creaks open slightly. A young girl in a maid's dress enters the room, clean and neat, carrying a tray in her hands. She had a feminine figure, with curves in all the right places and perfect posture. Each of her movements was smooth and graceful, chestnut strands swaying slightly with every step, a practiced half-smile played on her lips. Most striking of all were her eyes. Lively and attentive, she fixed her gaze on you, trying to figure out what kind of person you were. Also, like, I know the kind of game this is. 100%. We're gonna... Oh my god. Can you tell I've not really played erogames on this channel for a while? Well, I've not played erogames on this channel aside from Anomalous, like, coffee machine. And I just have a feeling that we're going to be able to have certain scenes with her. I just have a strong feeling about it. Good evening, sir. Here is your dinner, as requested. Stew with game and vegetables. Have a loaf of bread. She pauses briefly and then speaks in an apologetic tone. Forgive me. I didn't bring wine. By order of the captain of the palace guard. That Boric really is a pain. I still love him though. I love Boric. You notice that there was no table in your room. Put the food on the bed and nowhere else. All set. I won't keep you any longer. The girl placed the food down, then gave a slight bow and prepared to leave. This is a chance. The maid must know something. Wait, have you been working in the palace long? And what's your name? She tensed at the question, narrowed her eyes slightly, and answered softly. Yes, sir. I've served in the palace since childhood. My name is Anna, and if you wish, I can... She looks modest and respectful, with a tremor in her voice. How should I act to learn more? Delicately. Thank you for dinner, Anna. You're the first today who didn't try to hit me, yell at me, or execute me.
The girl smiled slightly, warmly, almost home-like. It's just that everyone else is busy with their own problems, and you've caused so much commotion, sir.
There's truth in your words.
Tell me, what's really going on here, and where am I?
I showed up immediately, ended up neck deep in trouble.
Anna composed herself a little and began to explain. You're in the kingdom of Xanthria, in the palace of His Majesty, Wilhelm Roderick II de Revillon, ruler of the human lands from the northern barbarian steppes to the southern frontiers bordering the Beastmen tribes. She hesitated slightly, thinking of how to answer more delicately and clearly. You are the summoned hero. You were expected, but you appeared a week early and without the summoning ritual. You disrupted the annual ceremony and, unfortunately, you fell on an envoy, a lady of noble blood. For such a thing in our kingdom, the punishment is death. She may be a maid, but she's smart and cautious, weighing every word as if afraid to say too much. Tell me, how often do heroes like me end up here? And was there a boy among them? Heroes are summoned rarely. I know little of the ritual itself. It requires immense power, long preparation, and the magic of the best sorcerers. I haven't seen any boy. Forgive me. If the ritual is so difficult, that means heroes aren't summoned on a whim, but out of necessity. Why do you need heroes? She bows respectfully. Forgive me. I know little, and the god ordered me not to linger. Good night, hero sir.
I know Patron's gonna hate me for reading like the femme voices. I know.
The maid quickly left, quietly closing the door behind her. Silence filled the room. You wanted to sink back into your thoughts, but fatigue took over. Sitting on the bed, you collapsed and instantly fell into sleep. Sunlight carefully filters through the patterned window grate, painting the stone walls in warm copper golden tones. Outside the window, the palace gradually comes to life. Hurried footsteps of servants echo on the cobblestones, along with their muffled voices. They try to speak quietly, so that no noble person awakens ahead of time.
You won't catch me! You can't grab me! Please, wait! Your teacher's waiting, young master! Please stop!
Suddenly, there's a light patter, quick, chaotic steps, accompanied by children's laughter and bursts of women's voices. This noise finally pulls you from the arms of sleep. You reluctantly peel yourself off the pillows, frowning and squinting at the light. Slowly rising, you walk to the window and carefully peer outside.
Some good morning this is. And again, here I am. Not at home. My head is buzzing. My body aches, like I played all night. And now, there's noise outside too.
A nimble boy of about 8 runs along the path, dodging imaginary obstacles. Behind him, panting, hurries a young maid in a simple dress, just like Anna's. She calls the boy by name, but he only laughs heartily and keeps running away. You freeze involuntarily, watching the scene before you. A memory of your son flashes through your mind, just as loud, mischievous, and full of life. Your heart tightens painfully. Calm down. New day, new chances. Get it together. The palace lives its own life. If this were a game, I sure don't feel like the main character. You look at the grate and remember the plate. Carefully, you begin scraping the iron bars and stone, testing their strength. The shard is made of something incredibly strong. I could fall down the grate, but it would take more than one day. Has to be done at night. Now it's too risky. But why should I even do this? As long as they see me as a hero. But if everything goes wrong, I won't get through the door, and the window will be my only chance.
Your thoughts were interrupted by a loud crash of the door. Boric entered the room without even knocking. He had the same grim look as yesterday.
I see you're not sleeping. Good, recruit. Since you're not being executed today, that means we'll have training.
Boric, you really know how to ruin the morning. What training are you talking about?
Don't get cheeky. Watch your words. The Queen wants to make sure you're truly a hero, not a fool. For that, we'll have training. I'll check if you can really hold a weapon, not just wag your tongue. If you perform well, I'll give you permission for the duel, and after that, you'll become an official hero.
Boric gave you a once-over.
You look scrawny. You still resemble a jester more.
And what if I don't want to go to training? Maybe I'll just lounge in bed or take a stroll in the yard?
Your choice. You can keep fooling around, but know this. The king won't tolerate it, and the scaffold is just a step away. Training is mandatory now. That's the Queen's order. If you resist, he'll drag you out by the scruff of your neck. You can squeal too. You'll amuse the soldiers. Enough talk. Let's go.
Gameplay?
I guess it's gameplay time soon.
Perfect. Now that's what I call a cheerful morning. At least I don't have to go to work. In game terms, my current quest is to gain hero status. With that, I'll carry more weight and find my son faster. So, I can't skip training. And I can forget about any early victory in the duel. I don't know how to handle a weapon. From gaming experience, a couple of evenings in a multiplayer slasher, it was funny seeing guys running around with lutes amongst the carnage, but right now, it's no laughing matter. The sun begins to warm. You walk past neatly trimmed bushes, statues, and gazebos. In the distance, tall gray walls can be seen, their tops glistening with morning dew. Somewhere on the tower, bells chime, awakening the city. Boric interrupted your thoughts.
You've only just arrived here. While we walk to the training ground, you may ask questions.
I'll think about it. Where are we? Where are we exactly? Everywhere I look, there are walls. We left the palace and this is...
We are on the palace grounds, specifically in its garden. Beyond the walls lie Ernas, the capital of the kingdom. This palace was built long ago, once serving as a fortress, and now it is the royal residence. Here you'll find everything needed for life and rule. Chambers, training yards, a library, baths, kitchens, and storerooms. And walls that have survived more wars than you could imagine.
What is Ernas like? How do people live here?
Ernas is vast and diverse. Nobles and the wealthy live on the upper terraces. Below are craftsmen, merchants, and mercenaries. The closer you get to the gates, the noisier and dirtier it becomes. That's where real life boils. Markets, taverns, the arena, everything that could delight or ruin a man.
Why do you need a hero? You summon heroes, but what are they needed for?
Boric frowned. His Majesty will explain when the time comes. I am not permitted to say. Know this, the kingdom needs heroes. Prove that you are one of them.
What are these statues? What are these statues in the garden? Heroes of the past?
Boric nodded. Yes. Each of them became renowned for something. Some died in battle. Some saved the city from disaster. The stories differ, but one thing is the same. They gave more than they received. Many of them never lived to see rewards or recognition. The names are remembered only in songs and stone. Heroes either bear such a burden or fall beneath its weight.
For now,
That's all I wanted to ask. We're almost there. Follow me. You arrive at the training ground, a sandy arena surrounded by low walls. Wooden stands rise on the sides for spectators of future duels. You also notice weapon racks and targets. Mannequins are placed in different spots, rough wooden dummies chipped in places from blows. One stands in the center, slightly crooked, as if ready for battle. Boric smirks, pointing directly at this dummy. At the same time, he grabs a wooden shield and a sword and throws them in your direction. First, the basics. Your first opponent is the dummy. Show your skill. Try not to hurt yourself and don't embarrass yourself too much.
Seriously? This is my training? A straw dummy?
Jokes aside, the only weapon I've held was a stick as a kid when I whacked nettles. I just hope I don't embarrass myself.
Alright, let's try. Alright, sick! Combat system tutorial.
You can escape from battle if you're not ready, but if the fight is story related, escape won't be possible. The button will be inactive. Before you use the turn order panel, the leftmost square shows whose turn it is. Red frame, enemy. Blue is ally. This area displays skill icons. Each corresponds to a specific ability that can be used in battle. Passive skills are not included here. Potion icon allows you to use items from your inventory. At the start of game, this function is unavailable. Remember, all potions come only from your own inventory. Magic Book opens access to stronger abilities and combinations. It will become available later. You can apply a defensive buff for one turn. Under this effect, incoming damage reduced. You can do melee attacks, basic piercing, slashing, and others. For now, only the basic attack is available. Pay attention to your character. You've got health and energy bars. Reaching 0 health means death and defeat. Mana is blue. Okay, used by mages for spells. Energy is used by warriors for physical abilities. You are a warrior, a physical class. Above the bars, you can see active effects, buffs, and debuffs, as well as their duration. Enemies also display theirs. At this stage, only one buff is available, defense. Later, you'll encounter others, poison, bleeding, stun, and so on. You'll get to know them all later, hero. You ready to fight the straw dummy or repeat the tutorial? Let's fight. Okay, it's not really gonna do much. I'll attack. I only have the basic attack, so why not?
10!
Can I attack again? Is that something I can do? Yes, I can! Okay, end turn. It seems it's based on like an energy. Okay, it's definitely based on energy and like what skills you're going to use. Alright. After several strikes, the dummy falls apart, scattering into straw pieces. Also, this is definitely like a bit of a change from the previous game, Nightly Passions, which featured a more like a Slay the Spire type sort of system where you used cards. I am not sure if I like or dislike this so far, but we'll see as we actually like get through the rest of the game. After several strikes, the dummy falls apart, scattering into straw pieces. Dust rises into the air, and you stand amid its remains, as if you had defeated not a spell of sticks and rags, but an entire army of demons. Boric slowly approaches, with a barely noticeable hint of irony hiding in the corner of his lips. Well then, hero. All that's left is to give your straw armor and send you boldly to war. Well then, hero. All that's left is to give you straw armor and send you boldly to war. Against village chickens. You swing a sword impressively for a child. Even my younger son handles a blade better. He's so annoying. I did pretty well. Maybe I should answer him. Restrained reply. This is just the beginning. I'll recover and fight with full strength. Boric froze in place. Silence hung between you, and it seemed like he was thinking about something important. I won't grant permission for a duel yet. He'll be waiting for you at the next training. That's where we'll see what you're really worth. With slow, graceful movements, the queen approached you. Her gaze was soft yet piercing, and I immediately hid behind Boric. What an intriguing duel. Even though it was just a dummy, it was so thrilling to watch. My heart still trembles. Her gaze lingers on you again. There's something in it beyond mere curiosity.
I was just hitting a dummy!
Yet she speaks so enthusiastically. Is she mocking me, or did I really catch her interest? By the way, you still haven't introduced yourself.
Oh, my name is, it's not Andrew. It's, oh my god, Lion. It's Lion. Yep.
Lion? An interesting name.
Ma'am, you're royalty, but your clothes could use a little more coverage. Oh my god! They're just bursting at the seams!
And I am Katrina Leon de Rebellion, queen and wife of King Wilhelm II.
For now, I'll stay polite. Her influence could be useful.
It's an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Oh, just call me Katrin. You are our guest, and a hero no less. Why such strict formality? Let's speak more freely.
I have a feeling speaking isn't the only thing we're going to be doing freely.
Your Majesty. Oh, Boric, I'd like to speak with our hero for a while. A walk in the garden will do nicely.
Boric began to bristle at the Queen's liberties. Your Majesty, this is against protocol. He's under supervision.
That is an order, Boric. Now it was the Queen's turn to be angry. Her gaze shifted instantly from warm to icy. He will walk with me. Now! Boric clenched his jaw but said nothing, only muttered under his breath and gave a reluctant nod. The Queen turned her gaze back to you, her voice softened. Well then, hero, let us go. We'll stroll through the palace garden among its grand statues and fountains.
Why do I look so smug?
The garden turned out to be a true oasis within the castle's stone walls. The air was filled with the scents of rare flowers, from sharp roses to sweet jasmine. Somewhere in the distance, a fountain gurgled. Trimmed bushes stood neatly in rows. A light breeze brings coolness, and time seems to flow differently, slower than in the rest of the world. You walk along paths paved with soft golden sand. The Queen is beside you, and Boric trails just behind. Katrin behaves as if strolling with an old friend, not a hero under supervision. I hope it isn't too harsh here for you. Of course, these are not the palaces of Almaria, but they have their own comfort and style. It's quite fine here, though. I've never been to Almaria. The Queen laughs brightly, as if you had told a good joke. Of course you haven't, since you appeared here. You truly are unlike the others, and that has its own charm.
It's already hard not to stare at her chest. And she's so close! I've never seen breasts like that in real life. Only in hentai novels when I was a teenager.
You tried to focus on Katrin's words. I asked the king not to execute you because I believe you truly are the summoned hero from another world. Almaria is a friendly kingdom far to the east where I was born. There stand white palaces of stone that gleam in the sun, and the streets are filled with music and laughter. But between us lies the vast, silent sea and the lands of the elves, close to outsiders. All my family remain there. How I miss them. Really? The words slipped out involuntarily. You're not very interested in her story. Your son is somewhere unknown. And you miss him. Forgive me, Your Majesty. I just remembered my son for a moment. Oh, I understand you so well. The loss of a son for a father. I cannot even imagine your pain. At that moment, he lost his temper and grew angry.
He's alive!
Of course. I never meant to imply otherwise. It's just... The Queen tried to recall all the rituals of summoning heroes. During the summoning ritual, only one hero appears. Always one.
There can be no companions, no accidental fellow travelers. She takes your hand, pressing her chest lightly against your shoulder, and looks straight into your eyes. You caught her sweet scent with the spicy warmth of cinnamon. The fragrance trailed like a soft, velvety veil wrapping around you. The anger inside you melted away, giving way to confusion and then to arousal. We live in troubled times, and now it is important to stand together.
I think you're right, Your Majesty.
If her words are true, only one person can pass through the portal, but the kidnapper and my son, that's two. And why aren't they surprised that I appeared so suddenly, when the summoning requires a special ritual with sorcerers?
And her chest isn't helping me to think.
I need to learn at least something. I just can't understand. Why do you need me or heroes at all? Even though our kingdom is the strongest on the continent, it has many problems. War with the beast folk in the south. They burn villages and take captives. Quarrels with the dwarves over mines in the northwest. They claim the mines as theirs and hinder us from mining ore. The silence of the demons is suspicious. For several decades, nothing has been heard of them. The elves have split into two factions, each with goals unclear to us. And finally, internal strife. Nobles divide lands and power amongst themselves, weaving plots. Even here in the palace, I have few allies I can trust. That is why I need heroes. Why we need heroes to help with all this. Now tell me, hero, who are you? Where did you truly come from? Why did you ask about your son? You arrived ahead of schedule and without the ritual. I have never seen such a thing before. She's asking entirely reasonable questions, and it's clear she wants the truth. But I can't admit I jumped into the portal only for my son. That I'm not a hero at all. If she learns the truth, they might execute me, and I'll never save my son. What should I do? Lost in thought, you accidentally step on the hem of the queen's long skirt. She freezes, the fabric pulls tight, her step falters, and a perfect grace cracks. The queen loses her balance and begins to fall. A flash of surprise crosses her face, real, vivid. I'm gonna help her. Hello! You leap forward and manage to catch the queen by the waist. She loses balance, but instead of falling to the ground, ends up right in the arms of a savior. Your bodies collide, and your hands, as if acting on their own, slide upward, brushing against her soft, full chest. Why did I decide to do this for the channel? For a brief moment, the world stands still. You feel the warmth of her body and the fragrance of her perfume. Your heart beats faster, your breath unsteady. You reluctantly pull away and help Katrin to her feet. How decisive. The only question is whether you're truly a hero or just a man with quick reflexes. I am grateful. Rarely does anyone know how to catch a woman so gently and pleasantly. Her gratitude makes you break into a smile. Had you really never received compliments from a woman before? How dare you, you scoundrel! For this, you'll be executed! On your knees, imposter! Boric steps forward, his face burning with fury, eyes flashing, his hands on the sword's hilt, clearly ready to use it. The tension grows, the very air seems heavier. Still in shock, you could only spread your hands. Calm down, Boric. It was an accident, or perhaps the will of fate. Who can say? In any case, this was my fault. Lion had nothing to do with it. Lion, until we meet again, we still have much to discuss. She casts you a warm glance, then unhurriedly, she walked back towards the palace, totally not thinking of how I, caught her. Why? Once again, you receive a slap on the back of the head from Boric.
Unfortunately, I can't have you executed, but punished, certainly. You spend the rest of the day in your room, and also, you go to the yard. You do fish. We'll go to the yard. You'll do 50 push-ups and squats. Fool.
Honestly deserved. After the unscheduled training, you walk with Boric back towards your room. Ugh, everything was already aching and now it hurts even more. It's been ages since I worked out this much. Now the punishment stuck in my room feels like I'm back in childhood. At least they didn't put me in the corner. Still, I managed to get out of it. Lately, I've been lucky. Could have been executed again, and the queen, damn attractive, and she clearly knows something, but I'd better keep my guard up with her. The palace walls were already bathed in the soft evening glow of the sun. The day was already drawing to a close. Stone corridors were adorned with statues and ancient paintings. Long, ornate carpets stretched across the floor, muffling footsteps. Along with the torches, candles burned here and there, sending up fragrant wisps of incense. The air was filled with a wondrous, faintly lulling scent. You stop and notice an open door. Huh? This door is open. Hello? Hi there! Princess? Through the half-open door, an almost unreal sight appeared. In the sunset light, streaming through the lattice window, stood a girl. Her slender figure was wrapped in a long burgundy dress that flowed softly across the floor. Every movement lent her an air of majesty and fragile grace. Her posture was flawless, shoulders slightly drawn back, her narrow waist accentuated by the smooth curve of her silhouette. On her head was a delicate diadem, from which a braid of golden hair fell across her chest. A veil covered part of her face, making her appearance all the more mysterious. Her eyes, however, were sharp and alive. She held a book in her hands, her slender fingers carefully turning the pages. Oh no! I love Boric! Boric roughly grabs your head and pulls you away from the door. What are you up to now? Haven't you had enough for one day? I just wanted to take a look! That is... I knew it was the princess! Princess Guinevere, the king's daughter. She rarely takes part in palace life. She spends all her time in books. See, even now she's in the library, as if she lives there. They say she's smart and has a phenomenal memory. You notice the princess glance in your direction for a moment, as if about to approach. In an instant, Boric slammed the door shut right beside you. Don't even think about it. Let's go. I'm back in the building again! Back in your room, exhaustion overtook you. You only woke closer to nightfall. Night falls so quickly here. I wonder if the days are the same length as on Earth. Another day has passed, and I'm still no closer to finding my son. Where is he now? What's happening to him? Is he alive? How is he coping there? Alone? Damn. I miss him so much. I'm so worried. And this world is strange. So much like Earth, yet different. I still don't understand. How am I speaking the language as if it were my own? I need to pull myself together and decide what to do next. You heard a knock at the door. Come in, Boric! Wait, hold on. Boric wouldn't have bothered knocking. Door. Oh! It's you! The door creaked softly and Anna entered the room with a tray. Good evening, sir. You trained hard today and didn't eat at all. I brought you dinner and something else. Hi, Anna. I was just about ready for a meal. I've learned a bit more about what happened in the throne room. You lost your son and must be so hard for you. That's why I decided to bring not only dinner, but
also a book. Maybe it can distract you or spark your interest. When I was a child, my mother often read to me before bed, and it always helped me calm down. Maybe it will make things a little easier for you too.
Thank you. Honestly, this is unexpected and kind.
Ah!
After dinner, you sat on the bed. Anna carefully opened the book, her eyes meeting yours for a moment, as if checking if you were ready to listen. You held the candle and the book, helping her. The soft light flickered across the girl's chestnut curls. She was close enough that you could catch the faint scent of flowers, cleanliness, and the warmth radiating from her body. Her voice was quiet and melodic, soothing your nerves after a hard day.
This is the story of a heroine who came from another world, like you, sir.
Anna read smoothly, her tone highlighting drama, humor, and surprises, blushing slightly herself at some moments. The legend tells of a warrior woman summoned a century ago by the hero summoning ritual to aid in the war against demonic hordes. Back then, all the races of the continent united to fight against the demons. You tried to listen to the story, but the words seemed to pass by. You were more drawn to Anna herself. Her presence dimmed the rest of the world. It felt good simply being beside her. Meanwhile, the girl's voice grew livelier, filled with energy and enthusiasm. And then, Leonidia united all the troops under her command and led the army against the Demon King. Anna squints slightly as she reads, as if living through every emotion of the heroes herself. When the story reaches the moment where Leonidia draws her sword and addresses her troops before battle, Anna suddenly holds her breath. Her eyes widen for a moment, her fingers clench slightly, as if she herself was standing on the battlefield, feeling the heroine's tension and resolve.
I know what kind of game this is. I knew that I should have expected it. But goddamn! Anyway, she suddenly jumps to her feet. We will march through this hell and return either with our shields or on them. That's what she said. Can you imagine? Anna strikes the battle pose, one hand raised high as if holding a sword, the other lowered as if gripping a shield. Her eyes blaze, her chest rises with quickened breath. Suddenly, she realizes where she is and notices that her skirt has lifted, revealing pale panties. Her face instantly blushes red. I am not distracted, I swear. You gonna say anything?
Forgive me. I got carried away. I'm so sorry.
Bye, Anna!
Clutching her skirt to her legs, she quickly fled the room. Only a faint floral scent and the book remained. You watched her go and smiled. Wow. On the outside, a modest girl, but inside, brave and passionate. Just yesterday, I thought she wasn't as simple as she looked. That she left the book behind. That's a perfect reason to see her again. Anna's gone, which means I can get back to think about what to do next. Well, it's a rough day. Trouble again and my body aches all over, but I feel a bit lighter. Maybe I'm getting used to the strain, or maybe the evening just turned out surprisingly pleasant. Your mind replays the day, the first clash with the dummy, the infuriating Boric, the alluring queen, the mysterious princess, and sweet Anna. Tomorrow, Boric won't have an order to drag me to training, so I'll decide for myself what to do. Also, today, I decided training is mandatory, so I'll go during the day. What else? With Katrin, it got tricky. She started asking about my world. The next meeting could be dangerous, and the princess, I have no idea about her at all. At least I managed to connect with Anna. I need to return her book and ask about the palace. She's clearly seen or knows something. And if I still have time, we'll see how things go. With these thoughts,
you fall soundly asleep.
Anyway, that was Hero Saga. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, the name of the game is in the description. Please go search it for yourselves, because I can't link spicy games on YouTube. Oh, they really hate it when I do that. But as a fun little fact, this was actually made by one of my favorite Aero game developers of all time, Feyada, who has previously worked on Nightly Passions. And genuinely, I would love to actually check out the rest of this game, but whether I post it up on YouTube or not, it really depends on how well this video does. So, hey, maybe I can finally be the chaos bisexual goblin I was meant to be. But anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.